If you've been watching the headlines, scrolling on Zillow, or just talking to friends, the Dallas-Fort Worth real estate market probably feels a little confusing right now. Some people are saying the market is crashing, while others are saying, well, it's about to take off again. And meanwhile, buyers feel stuck, sellers feel frustrated, and everyone's asking the same question. Is now a terrible time to buy or sell, or should we just wait?
Today we're going to break this down clearly. We're going to start with the downside of the market, the stuff that nobody really loves to hear, but you need to understand it. Then we're going to talk about new construction versus pre-owned homes, because that gap is bigger than most people even realize right now. And finally, we're going to get really specific and talk about where the opportunities actually are, including suburbs like Flower Mound, Argyle, and Northlake. So stay with us, because what's happening under the surface in these local markets is very different than the big, scary headlines. Now, really quick, this video is part of an exclusive collaboration with top real estate YouTubers from across North America, Canada. We're each breaking down what's really happening in our local markets, the stuff that you won't hear on the evening news or read in some generic market report. We've linked those videos in the description below, so just go check them out.
Let's start with the uncomfortable part. 2025 was not an easy year for the Dallas-Fort Worth housing market. Across the Metroplex, home prices fell about 5% on average, the number of homes for sale dropped, and homes took significantly longer to sell. That alone feels shocking if you lived through the frenzy of 2020 through 2022. But here's the bigger issue: affordability. Over the last 5 years, mortgage payments are up significantly, while home household incomes grew minimally. That created a gap that matters a lot. Even though mortgage rates came down from about 6.7% at the end of 2024 to around 6.1% by the end of 2025, payments are still high enough that buyers are extremely cautious, and that caution shows up everywhere. Home sales across DFW were down about 15% year over year. Median days on the market jumped over 20%. Inventory climbed to nearly 5 months of supply, which officially put us in a balanced market territory.
So in plain English, buyers aren't panicking anymore. They're slow, they're picky, and they're willing to walk away. So if you're a seller, this is the part that stings a little bit. Homes are sitting longer. Price reductions are common, and the days of throw it on the market and see what happens are gone. In some counties, especially areas farther north, farther from job centers, listings are sitting 70, 80, even 100 days before selling. This doesn't mean the market's broken. It means the market has rules again. Pricing matters, condition matters, location matters, and overpricing is punished pretty quickly. And here's the big thing that you should keep in mind. Even though prices came down in 2025, that does not mean every home or every area is struggling equally. This is where the market gets really interesting.
Let's talk about one of the biggest shifts happening right now: new construction versus pre-owned. Because these two markets are behaving very differently. Builders had a tough 2025. They could not slash their prices aggressively, which hurts future values and appraisals. So instead, they leaned hard into incentives. We're talking about rate buydowns, closing cost credits, design upgrades, and flex cash. In many cases, buyers are getting effective interest rates in the mid-5s, even while resale buyers are stuck at a closer rate in low to mid-6s. That's a big deal for monthly payments. Because of that, new construction has quietly absorbed a lot of buyer demand, especially for people who are more about the payment rather than the purchase price.
On the resale side, buyers have something they haven't had in years: leverage. We're seeing price reductions, seller paid closing costs, repairs and credits are back on the table, and fewer multiple offer situations. For the right home in the right location, buyers can negotiate aggressively, especially if the seller bought or refinanced at a low rate or they really need to sell. But here's the catch: not every seller is realistic yet, and homes that are priced based on 2022 expectations are just sitting.
So, is 2026 a rebound or a reset? This is where a lot of people get confused. Most economists agree on one thing: 2026 is not a rebound year. It is a reset year. Sales are expected to improve modestly. Prices are expected to stay mostly flat, maybe up slightly, maybe down slightly depending on location. And mortgage rates are expected to drift slightly lower, possibly into the high fives by late 2026. But nobody is calling for another frenzy. Instead, it's what we're calling or seeing as normalization. And that creates opportunity if you know where to look.
So, where are the opportunities right now? This is the part that most headlines miss. Opportunity in this market isn't about timing the bottom. It's about leverage, selection, strategy. If you're buying a home in the Dallas area, you have more inventory than we've seen in years, less competition, negotiating power, builder incentives, and resale flexibility. If rates dip even slightly after you buy, you could potentially refinance later if it makes sense financially. You can't renegotiate price after the fact.
If you're selling a home in the Dallas area, you need to know that well-priced homes, well-prepared homes are still selling. Buyers will pay for condition and location. Serious buyers are out there. They're just not emotional anymore. The market rewards precision, not optimism.
Let's zoom in because this is where things really start to separate. Flower Mound continues to benefit from strong schools, established neighborhoods, and central access. What we're seeing here is homes are still selling, but taking longer. Buyers are negotiating harder. Well-maintained homes in prime areas are holding value better than average. This is not a distressed market, but it is price sensitive. Overpricing gets punished really fast.
Argyle is more nuanced. There is a clear split between the custom homes on acreage versus the newer subdivision builds. Higher-end homes take longer to sell, but the demand is still there for space, privacy, and schools. Builders are more aggressive with incentives here, which create competition for resale sellers. Strategy matters a lot right now in the Argyle market.
Northlake is one of the most interesting markets in DFW right now. We've got heavy new construction. Builders are competing hard. Infrastructure is still catching up. This creates opportunity, especially for buyers who are flexible and thinking 5+ years ahead. But it also means that resale sellers have to compete directly with builders offering rate buy downs and incentives.
So what is the market really telling us? Here's the truth. Dallas-Fort Worth market is not crashing. It's not exploding, it's just resetting. 2025 shook out unrealistic expectations. 2026 is about adjustment, patience, smart decisions, and the people who win in this market aren't guessing. They're using data, local knowledge, and strategy.
If you're thinking about buying or selling in Flower Mound, Argyle, Northlake, or anywhere in the Dallas suburbs, the details matter now more than ever. If this video helped clarify what's really going on, make sure you're subscribed and check out the next video where we're going to break down the homes in the Dallas area that you should absolutely not buy. So we'll see you over there.